In 2025, three powerful tropical cyclones stood out for their intensity and human impact: Hurricane Melissa in the Atlantic, and Typhoons Kalmaegi and Fung-Wong in the Western Pacific. Melissa became one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes on record, while Kalmaegi and Fung-Wong struck parts of Southeast Asia in quick succession, triggering catastrophic flooding and compounding damage across already vulnerable regions. Together, these storms came to define the year as one marked by extreme weather, widespread destruction, and the growing volatility of cyclone seasons worldwide. Hurricane Melissa. In late October 2025, the Atlantic gave almost no warning before Hurricane Melissa began turning a quiet stretch of ocean into one of the most violent storms ever recorded. In just days, a routine tropical system collapsed inward, its pressure plunging as winds surged past Category 5 strength, creating one of the most intense hurricanes in Atlantic history. When Melissa struck Jamaica, it arrived at full force. Roofs ripped away, structures failing, entire neighborhoods destroyed by wind and storm surge. Power, water, and communications vanished almost instantly. The storm pushed through Cuba and Hispaniola, flooding valleys and triggering deadly landslides, then spread destruction across the Bahamas and shipping lanes. By the time it finally weakened over colder waters, over 100 people were dead, around 96 injured, and 15 reported missing. And the physical damage in Jamaica alone was estimated at about $8.8 billion. Just days after Melissa, another deadly cyclone would form in the Pacific, setting the stage for the devastation of Typhoon Kalmaegi. Typhoon Kalmaegi. In early November 2025, Typhoon Kalmaegi slammed into the central Philippines, unleashing relentless rain and flooding that overwhelmed towns and cities across the Visayas and nearby islands. The storm's torrential downpours sent rivers surging through communities, sweeping away homes, cars, and infrastructure as residents struggled to escape the rising waters. As the cyclone churned westward into Vietnam, it continued to drench coastal provinces with destructive winds and heavy rain, knocking down trees, damaging houses, and triggering widespread power outages. By the time Kalmaegi's fury eased, more than 224 people had died in the Philippines, with 109 still missing and around 526 injured, while at least 5 people were killed in Vietnam and dozens more were hurt amid floods and landslides. Millions were affected, hundreds of thousands were displaced from their homes, and vast areas of farmland and infrastructure were left in ruins. Just as recovery efforts began, another powerful storm was forming on the horizon: Super Typhoon Fung-Wong. In mid-November 2025, Super Typhoon Fung-Wong barreled toward the northern Philippines and Taiwan, just days after Kalmaegi had devastated the region. Winds tore through coastal towns, ripping roofs from homes, toppling trees, and flattening weaker structures, while relentless rainfall triggered widespread flooding and deadly landslides. In the Philippines alone, at least 27 people were killed, 36 were injured, and 2 were reported missing, as tens of thousands evacuated ahead of the storm, and more than 1.3 million people were displaced. Around 4.4 million people were affected by the storm's fury across 16 regions. Damage assessments in the Philippines recorded roughly $49 million in combined infrastructure and agricultural losses, with further impacts likely as crews continue evaluations. The cyclone then pushed northwest toward Taiwan, bringing heavy rain and winds that added to the strain on communities still recovering from Kalmaegi. Fung-Wong finally weakened over open waters, leaving people afraid of the possibility of yet another possible cyclone. In the span of a month, Hurricane Melissa, Typhoon Kalmaegi, and Super Typhoon Fung-Wong together claimed over 400 lives, left hundreds injured and dozens missing, and caused approximately $50 billion in total economic losses, leaving communities across the Caribbean and Southeast Asia devastated and facing long recoveries, serving as a reminder that at any point, one of these cyclones can appear, anywhere, at any time.